Well, as crappy as I feel, it doesn't dampen the enthusiasm I have for getting this part of this project done. I will suffer through the misery of loading this stuff all into the sea can because I'm so excited for this. Waited so long. They're all trying to get water out of this thing, so I gotta go get that filled up. Chrissy's babies are about 3.5 weeks old now. And again, still a huge difference in size. They were born over 3 days. So it'll be breed and the difference in days that makes a difference. But that one yellow one is still gigantic. I'm hoping that's going to be a cross with a buff. The one buff hen that I had. Your babies were so thirsty, weren't they? Yeah. There's water inside too, silly mama. Yeah. That huge yellow one. Neither one of them has much of a comb, and I'm hoping that means hen. She crouches down for him. Yeah, you're such a good mommy. She walks like crouched down so he doesn't fall off. What a good mama. That is one huge chick. Holy moly. Obviously that is either Lucy or Viv's chick egg. And the others are all guesses. What was that? What was that, babies? That's maybe your daddy. That one, I'm afraid, is a rooster. He's getting a pretty prominent comb already. Oh. This little one just wants to be on top of her all the time. Tiny. That's one of the tiniest ones. Little black one. Okay. You all had drinks and now you gotta go do some more foraging. Do chicken stuff. Yeah, like that. Look at all the grass that's coming through here from the seed. It's good for you, babies. Yeah. Are you keeping an eye out for the bad guys, buddy? Hmm? The grass has never been so long in the field next to us, which I don't like at all because it sure makes it easy for the coyotes to sneak up. Yeah, and it's all on you now, bud. Keeping an eye out for the bad guys. So Chris has scraped all the ceiling bits flat like this. He is absolutely covered. It looks like he was sprayed with foam too. So he's just going to sweep this up, and then unfortunately we have 40 sheets of plywood to unload, hopefully before the next thunderstorm rolls through. I'm sicker than a dog with a head cold, but this has got to get done. Of course, we're almost ready to unload this plywood, and the wind is coming up, which usually means rain. Chris is going to shop back the floor as well, because it's just not sweeping up that well. Look at how beautiful this wood is. It's almost a shame to paint it, but then it was a shame to paint the tongue and groove too if you don't want to, but I could not stand this being all stained or clear coated or whatever. Just too much wood. I don't like it at all. And when I see cabins and stuff with just wood everything, it makes me dizzy. hurts my knee too. So we've got, I think, less than half of it in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25 still out here. So we only did 15 and I'm almost dead. We only got 15 done and I'm tired, but we're wondering if we're going to have enough room inside. So Chris is wanting to do the ceiling first. I'm just worried about this getting rained on again. That first sheet bubbled a bit on the one side. So we're thinking, he wants to do the ceiling first, so we're thinking rip the pieces for the ceiling and get the ceiling done. That'll get 10 out of the way. And then load more in. So that's what we might do. Which side do you want up, the smooth side? Let's go this way.
Coming down later anyway.
Yeah.
Something like that, I think.
About an inch or 3/4 or something?
3/4. Started here.
I can fit my finger in there with the glove on. But the thing is, this might be too low here now, because it's so rough, cut off there. I had a dream that Chris told me to come and look at the raspberries. I mean, right down to the ground. There's just bunches and bunches of them. I'm shocked at the difference over last year. Like, these bushes are absolutely covered. And I'm just in shock because now these ones sort of look like they're turning red. So I'm hoping they're actually going to be edible. I mean, if I have to wait another year, I have to wait another year, but my goodness, I never dreamed that it would go from nothing to this all of a sudden. Just so many. This little tiny part that's coming out of the ground, it's practically just shoots, and it's covered in raspberries. Color me shocked. Some of the cherries are starting to go red. Hopefully they'll actually be edible too. And again, lots and lots of growth on this tree too. Still getting new growth. Those little ones will be a while before I get anything. But this one, readjust this fence here. I'm gonna need a bigger fence to go around it pretty soon. That's the one I got so many cherries off last year. This one has a single apple. One apple. No, 2 apples. I looked the other day and I saw that one. I didn't see the other one. I'm surprised there's anything for the first year. Oh my goodness. I see a couple. One there. Where is it? The house caps are going purple. Now there's a bit of a mystery with the house caps because we did have a lot in there. And I'm not finding a lot, so I don't know if the birds are getting them. Same with the gooseberries. I think I'm gonna actually pick them just because I don't want to lose them. Some of them are getting pretty big. But there's quite a few in there. This one bush, where was? See, they turn sort of purple. Oops, camera's up here. So I really would like to get a small batch of gooseberry jam this year. There's a whole clump of them. There, tons in there. There's really quite a few. But these bushes are also really close to the ground, so I have a hard time not chomping them with the mower. There you can see the sort of purpley ones. The one bush had the purpley ones. And this one that I thought was dead last year is spreading out and doing great. Tons of new growth. Look at this little tiny bush, has some really purple haskaps on it. Some in there, under here. Oh, I really do need to pay more attention to these, but I think we're gonna, I know I saw tons of berries on them and we're just not getting the berries, so I'm assuming the birds are eating them. I mean, we've got some, but not nearly what I saw on them when they were green. I am also trying to do what they call forcing the rhubarb. You cover it up and deprive it of light and it makes new shoots come out. So I'm going to try it. I've heard of it before and then I saw something online and I thought, well, I'm going to try that. Keep forgetting about it. Even this little tiny, tiny bush that Chris thought was dead has some ripe ones on it. So I'm going to have to go through and pick some, I guess. I think the more you pick them, the more they produce too. So, oh, there's some really dark ones. Oh, now I'm just walking past and I see dark ones. Maybe I'm just not seeing them because I'm not lifting all the branches up. Stop. Oh, I see some in there too. Not as many as I'd hoped for. So Chris has got all the tools set up in here. Scaffolding down there. Those things are for putting up drywall on the ceiling, so we're going to use those. And he also used a little tool router to put a bevel on the edge of the plywood where they're going to meet. So Chris has gone along and pre-drilled the holes into the countersink. The first sheet has a little notch out of the corners for the metal that's up in the corner of the sea cans. So we're going to try and get this first sheet up. Fingers crossed. So Chris put two, you'll see how there's two 2x3s together. So there's lots of room to screw each sheet into it. Chris also measured out and put measurements, so he's got the screws placed 4 across, and then we'll be screwing along the wall. It'll be hidden by the wall boards and the trim, but we'll do that after we get all the ceiling ones in and get them all in place. Then he can go around all the edges and do all the edge screws. I will find the receipt and show everybody the difference in price. It ended up costing us at least $700 less than what we had kind of planned on, even over what we estimated. So we're pretty pleased with this, and it is beautiful wood and it's going to paint beautifully, so the runs will probably run beautifully too. But anyway, I'll try and remember to show you guys the cost comparison so you can see why we did this. As soon as we get done loading all this wood in through the window, we'll be able to put the window in too, which will be nice. I already felt a difference, like the temperature's been going down so cold at night. We actually had a frost warning a couple days ago. It's almost July. And when I would come out here in the morning, it was almost like cold enough you'd want to light the wood stove. And then I came in yesterday, or the day after, I think the foam was done, and it was 80 degrees in here, and that was with the door to the greenhouse closed. So huge difference already. And then by night it had gone down to 72. So once the window's in, not only it will be warm in here in the winter, the thing too is the spray foam keeps it cool in the summer, which is awesome. The other thing we're going to do is use all of these scraps for baseboard and trim around the windows. They're 8-foot sheets, so he has to rip some off of each sheet because of course it's 7 feet inside, just a little over 7 feet. So we are going to have a lot of cutoffs, and we're going to use that for trim. I mean, it's still thicker than your horrible MDF trim that's in most houses, and Chris has got the router. He can use any kind of bit, whether it's bevel or something curved or whatever, to put something on the top edge of the baseboard, and it'll all get painted. No drywall. That's what I like the best about this. No drywall. I just can't stand drywall. And the other thing too is drywall with the sanding and mudding and Chris's shoulders being wrecked, it's just too hard to work. This, you screw it in place and you paint everything. I'm feeling even crappier today, so Chris is working alone, getting the ceiling done. Just checking on my one-man crew here. A few more sheets to go to get to the end, to get the ceiling done. Well, it's not done. Once he gets them all in place and these boards come down, he's going to screw it right close to the edge so that when the trim goes along the ceiling, those screw holes are covered, and then only these ones out in the open need to be filled with the wood filler before paint. I think the walls will go a lot quicker just because you're not lifting everything up above your head and using these drywall poles. So much better than drywall. I'll have almost this whole wall to hang my art, and the end wall above the sofa or chaise, whatever goes down there. Chris doesn't even need a ladder. One more full sheet and a ripped sheet, and the ceiling's done. Okay, that's all the pieces in the ceiling. Now Chris has to do the hard work. You're working with your arms above your head. So he's got to go and pre-drill all the holes along both edges, all the way around the sides, and then put the screws in. Got to do the countersink first. So we can't do the sides till that's done.